Hey there, peace and blessings, good people. It's Royce Fletcher Thomason back for another Wednesday Hope and Healing Hour. Today is Wednesday, the 17th of March, 2021. And we're here each Wednesday, although we might be possibly switching that up and switching it either to a different time or a different day. So we're really kind of considering that. But as for now, we're here every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, noon Central, 10 a.m. Pacific Time, and we're offering hope, healing, encouragement, and things of that nature. So actually, a big part of what we are here to do is not just offer encouragement and hope, but actually offer a physical change in a person's health experience during these lives. And that's part of the purpose of this. Yes, we do want to definitely make sure that we're offering hope and encouragement and all of those things, because that's important and necessary. But we actually also want to make a physical, tangible difference in people's lives as well. So anybody suffering with any physical pain or even emotional pain and such, we address that right here during the live. We're going live through both Facebook and YouTube. And if you know of anybody who's dealing with any pain, any physical ailments or anything, let them know, send them here, because we're more than happy to support them in that. We've had plenty of people who've come on and excuse me, gotten some benefit. I knew I should have brought some water with me and gotten some benefit right during our time together. So whoever is here, I certainly welcome you here. Happy Wednesday to you. It's St. Patrick's Day, I believe. So happy St. Patrick's Day to you. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever life challenges and whatever life celebrations come your way, may you end up finding, excuse me, may you end up finding your pot of gold at the end of the tunnel, okay, or at the end of the rainbow, as it were. And so, interestingly, gold happens to be my favorite color. Hey there, Trisha C. Happy St. Patty's Day to you. Gold actually happens to be my favorite color. Not a common favorite color, I guess. But a beauty is that no matter where we are in life, no matter what kind of life situations are coming up, there's always something of a tremendous value that we can derive out of it. There's always some gold, if you were, excuse me, that we can lay claim to. It sometimes is just a matter of alchemy. The alchemists of the Middle Ages believed that there was some form of what they called a primordial matter, that everything ultimately existed as manifestations of the same ultimate form, or the same root form, if you would, and that those things could be base metals, particularly that base metals like iron and brass could be, or bronze, could be transmuted into finer metals such as silver and gold. Okay. Now, in more modern times, the real key is figuring out ways to transmute the base elements of our own personalities, the areas where we struggle, the areas where we're not quite so fine-tuned, to transmute those base elements of human personality into the gold of the soul. And that's really hugely what our life journey is really all about, figuring out ways to do that. And we have so many different opportunities and things that are along our path that we experience in the path of our life's journey that gives us an opportunity to do that. But whatever a situation is that's going on with a person, including a health condition, it is just an opportunity to find the root of some unresolved issue and to transmute that into something better. Really, I refer to it as purifying it through the power of pure love, the pure love of God. Every health condition and health situation, to put it in simple terms, is a function of an area in our lives that we probably are not really consciously aware of, but an area that we've tucked away and not exposed to the light of God's love in an attempt to protect ourselves, yes, but what ends up happening is that we end up cutting ourselves off from our life source, right? And so, that's the idea of getting reconnected, being reconnected. In some traditions, it's referred to as atonement or at one-ment, returning back to the sense of oneness, as opposed to being fragmented, as opposed to being broken or having unresolved stuff going on that keeps us from experiencing ourselves in a state of at one-ment, in a state of wholeness, in a state of liberation and freedom. A lot of different words really are ultimately used to describe the same thing, but that's really what it's all about. And so time after time after time after time, I've been blessed to work with people who have different things going on. It may be back pain, or it may be this, or it may be that, but the root cause is always something deeper, and we address that. And ultimately, what we're doing is bring the presence of divine love into that space, transmuting that stuff into something much better. So on this St. Patrick's Day, if you're somebody who's experiencing a lot of physical pain or something like that, today's your lucky day, as it were, because you'll have an opportunity for us to do something about that. If you have somebody in your life who's experiencing physical pain, yes, we're on the internet together. The reality is that we are all intimately and intricately, divinely interconnected with one another. And just like you're able to view this video right now and hear my voice right now, in a similar way, we're all connected in a much more powerful way. And the human technology that we have, such as the internet, is really just mimicking the divine technology that was established by God a long time ago. And we're able to work through that technology. We focus a lot on, getting the latest iPhone or the latest Samsung or the TV that has 4K or a vehicle that has new features in it. There are a lot of ways that we focus on external technology, but the real technology to be developing is this human technology, this internal technology that it's always been there. We weren't really aware of how it worked, how to use it, and in many cases, weren't even aware that it was there. But the beauty is that in this magnificence in which we were created, there is so much goodness that's placed in us, so many toys and gadgets that we can actually utilize that can actually have a profound impact on our lives. And not only a profound impact on our lives, but a profound impact on the lives of other people as well. So I just want to check in. How are you all doing out there? What's going on in your lives? Do you have anything interesting that you'd like to share? Whether it be something that you're feeling encouraged about or something that you feel like you're maybe struggling with a little bit. If you have some physical pain, let us know that. We'll address that. I won't be able to go too long today because I've got a class to teach immediately after. So situation, please let me know. I hope we still have our connection. It looked like the screen blacked out on me for a second. So hopefully we're still connected and you can still hear me and you can still see me. Okay. I don't really know if you can or not. If somebody is out there, if you can just drop in the chat, yeah, we can still see you or we can still hear you. I'm just gonna keep going. Hopefully the video is still working. Sometimes I don't know if it's a connection with the internet sometimes, or if it's a StreamYard issue, which is the third-party software that we're using to broadcast from. Okay. All righty. So I don't see anybody necessarily that's sharing that you've got some pain that you're dealing with, and it could be physical or emotional. So what I'm going to do is, okay, Trisha, thank you for letting me know that that you can still see me. And I know that it's a delay from the time that I'm saying it till the time that you're able to hear it. But I definitely appreciate you reaching out and sharing that you can still see me. So if nobody else has any particular issue going on that that you'd like to address, I'm just going to take a moment, and we're going to send some support to ABW. Okie dokie. And so I'm just going to take a moment right now and just kind of focus. And I invite anybody and everybody else to join in this as well. And feel free to take hold of what benefit you can derive from it as well. All right. And so I'm just going to say a quick silent prayer. That way I can avoid the words and get through it a little bit more quickly. All right. All right. Acknowledging that God's got things covered. Perfect health, perfect love, perfect plans. All right. We affirm it's a done deal. Okie dokie. So let's go ahead and start to provide some support there in terms of any root of any internal conflict. Okay, so we want to kind of address that in its root cause. We see this manifested outwardly too, in terms of countries fighting against each other, but that also goes on within our own beingness, in terms of internal conflict, in terms of cells kind of fighting against the greater good of the body, and all of that. All of what's in the microcosm is present in the macrocosm, and vice versa. All right. All right. So we want to actually support a wholehearted team effort for the greater good. Okay. We're putting this out there, both for ABW and for everybody who wants to lay claim to it and take hold of it and derive the benefit from it. Okay, as well as on a collective level. All right. Now, what is a big part of, what kind of causes that is this illusion of separation. This illusion of separation. We experience ourselves in a physical body being separate from other physical bodies, separate from other physical things, and so we think that sometimes we think that we're separated, and that separation means that there is danger. Okay, and so we want to actually address the root cause of that sense of danger. We want to reprogram the amygdala and the hippocampus, actually to really be aligned with being alert well-being. Okay. So we each have a reptilian part of the brain that is based in survival, and sometimes that kicks in ways that we don't necessarily need to. If a tiger's chasing you, it's good for that to kick in and for adrenaline to kick in to give you energy, where all of your body's energy is focused on running away, getting away, or fighting, whichever needs to be the case. We're not running, most of us, from physical danger in terms of things that are present, but we have things that come up and still trigger those ancient parts of the brain. And then we're not actually working those things off, and they end up manifesting in the body in different ways, creating elevated cortisol levels and other stress hormones in the body. All right, so we're going to really deal with the regulation of all of the adrenals um, and create all clear signal in the brain to be aware of the fact that we're safe, that we're protected, that we're held in the precious, loving, and protective arms of God. Okay. All right. So the root of that fear, we're going to transmute into power and faith in God and trust that we're well taken care of. All righty. We're going to look at any experiences, and we all have this, experiences of being disappointed with or by our parents or parental figures that we look up to, particularly as very young children, because they're like our first experience of God, so to speak, in terms of our human understanding, because we had to rely totally on them. But the reality is that they're flawed humans just like we are. So we want to actually kind of reprogram for some self-acceptance, self-acknowledgement, self-love, self-healing, and forgiveness of anybody who was supposed to maybe take a significant nurturing role in our lives and somehow drop the ball along the way. Okay. All right. So we want to actually repair any splits or any tears in our spiritual bodies or causal bodies. Okay. And also want to actually just also repair and rebuild the telomeres end of the strands of the DNA. Okay. And offer support for cellular regeneration. Okay, cellular regeneration of the healthy cells and the flushing out of the unhealthy cells, or the transmutation and transformation of the unhealthy cells into healthy cells. Okay, we'll give them the opportunity to convert, and if they don't choose to convert, they just have to be expelled from the system. Either support the system of the greater good, or cease to be able to exist as part of the system, the physical system. Okay. All righty. And want to look at just really dealing with family lineage. Okay. In terms of generations back, 12 generations back, want to support them, help clear things up with them. 12 generations back, many ancestors. Okay. And also going forward in terms of future generations, looking at 10 generations in the future, we want to actually clear things up for them as well. That's where the issues seem to be going forward, 10 generations. So there shouldn't be issues going forth past the 10th. And even now, we've helped those next 10 generations too. The beauty is that we experience time as linear. We experience it as progressive, but the reality is it's all happening all at the same time. That's why there's no secret to God, because God is present in past, present, and future. Okay. All righty. And let's on that deal with any concerns that we have regarding the idea of time, in terms of it taking time to heal, in terms of any anxiety or any type of angst at all regarding that. And we can acknowledge the immediacy of it. Okay. and yet being fully present in the now moment, realizing that the thing that we would consider a future thing is already a done deal in terms of desired outcomes, and yet at the same time not being attached to the outcome, which is a really powerful thing. It's a really powerful thing. Okay. All righty. And again, if anybody else wants to chime in at any point, that's perfectly fine. We certainly welcome that. Uh, I'm going to keep on going though in this work that we're doing. So let's look at spheres of influence in terms of our thought life. Okay, in terms of any types of negative programming or mental poisoning that might come from those that we respect, in terms of family members, in terms of our socialization and training and education, in terms of things that we pick up through the various forms of media, okay, as well as things that come up in conversations with friends, family, loved ones, okay, or anything really dealing with the collective consciousness of humanity that speaks to just really fear-based consciousness. Okay, we want to work on creating a sense of unique identity that is transcendent of that fear-based consciousness. Okay. All right. Okay. Actually, there's quite a bit going on there. I guess it shouldn't really be any surprise. All right. Okie dokie. All righty. And let's just look too at the lymphatic system, as well as the digestive system. That everything that's no longer serving is able to be clearly washed out and flushed out. Okay. Want to have healthy spleen, healthy lymph nodes, lymph duct, lymph channel, lymph fluid, clearing any saturation in there, any inflammation, clearing that out. Okay. And increasing the element of water in terms of allowing for a clear and easy flow. Clear and easy flow of emotions, and clear and easy flow of our own energetic frequencies, clear and easy flow of nutrients delivered to all the places they need to go, waste delivered out of the body from all of the cells of the body, clearly, efficiently, and effectively. Okay. And any diseased aspects of the body, and even the waste of that, parasites and so forth, being effortlessly washed and flushed through the body. Okay. All right. And if there's any difficulty with that, just breaking them down into much smaller particles, into quantum particles, so that we're just really not creating issues, and then flushing them out of the system. Okie dokie. All righty. And we'll just look at a couple more things, and if nobody else has anything going on, we'll go ahead and end shortly for our live for today. Okay. Now I want to take a moment here and actually want to take a look at, in general, any type of toxicity. Okay. in terms of toxic thoughts, toxic relationships. Okay, we want to balance out toxic relationships and also balance out the kidneys. Relationships are like purifiers of the soul in a similar way that kidneys are purifiers of the body. Okay, and so we want to actually strengthen both the right. Ooh, okay, want to strengthen both the right and the left kidney, their communication with each other, their communication with the master cell and the pineal gland in the brain. Uh, Clear communication going both ways. Alrighty. And all along the entire central nervous system, sympathetic nervous system. Okie dokie. Alrighty. I'm looking in terms of any physical toxicity as far as um, um, electronic, electromagnetic frequencies from, there's a word that I'm looking for. Kind of like pollution. That's not quite the word that I'm looking for. But the stuff that comes off of electronic devices that doesn't necessarily work well with our own frequency. So we want to actually create within us immunity from negative impacts. Ability to still be sensitive to energy, but not negatively affected by it. Okay. Is sensitive from the standpoint of awareness, but not sensitive from the standpoint of being easily negatively impacted by it. All right. And we want to look at any type of toxicity from pesticides. Okay, from exhaust. Hey, Debbie Hodges, good to see you. All right. Any artificial preservatives, food coloring, and additives to, whether it be to increase shelf life or increase the physical appearance of the food, or to speed up its growth beyond its natural state. Um, we want to clear the effect on the body from that. Okay. All righty. And any types of like lead or mercury, types of poisons of any type. Want to clear that out of the system too. And overall, just clear, clean, and purify the blood, radiating it with love. Can you say it? Love. That's how my late grandfather, John A. Hall, used to say it. All righty. Hey there, Wendy Hare. Blessings to you, my sister. Okay. All right. So let's actually get ready to seal this up. Want to just real quickly look at a couple things. In terms of any parallels spheres of consciousness. We want to clear things out there to where that's not causing any negative impacts as well. Okay. And also clear any idea from the root cause, any idea that anything is too far gone. Bing. Okay. All right. That's looking a little better now. All righty. And just want to real quickly look too at, just want to kind of take anything else that might be left and kind of put it in a pot. Clear it off real good. Transmute it, purify it, heal it through the light of the Holy Spirit, now, henceforth, and forevermore, for all generations of time, past, present, and future. Absolute, complete, permanent, infinite, and immediate perception of wholeness. Forgiving and forgetting anything that's standing in the way and turning off excess use of mind that is getting in the way and causing problems. All right, bear witness to this healing and to the wholeness made manifest as a function of this. Thank you, God. All right. Okay, everybody. Oh, I see that Debbie asked a question earlier about what's the emotional block related to sleep apnea. So that could be, it could be a few different things in terms of looking at actually some miscommunication and confusion in the central nervous system. So just need to kind of balance that out in terms of when you think you should be awake and when you think should be asleep. Okay. So just need to uncross those wires. There's some wires that are crossed there. And Debbie, are you asking for yourself or for a friend? Is there like a need for a CPAP machine, fall asleep doing activities like driving or taking a shower, or just sitting still for a moment, maybe in the middle of the workday? What are the specific manifestations? If you could share that real quickly, if you get an opportunity to, that would be awesome. I really wish there was a way to do this in kind of real time. Well, I guess technically there is a way to do it in real time. Somebody came on live. Okay, yeah. So you've got a CPAP machine. Okay. All right. So let's look at the so really basically, correct me if I'm wrong, but like you'll be sleeping and forget to breathe at night while you're sleeping. Is that what you're experiencing? Okay. If so, let's look at a connection between the physical and the divine. Okay, because breathing in isn't just taking in oxygen. Actually, it's the main difference between people being alive and not being alive is breathing. That's like a key distinction between living humans and quote unquote non-living humans is breathing. So we want to definitely like actually increase the memory to breathe during the dream state. So when the body goes to sleep, sometimes your spirit may actually leave your body momentarily, or aspects of your beingness may leave your body during that sleep state. And it's a finer line between you actually, it's not so clearly established like in the waking state where you're really heavily focused on your physical beingness. when you're in the sleeping state. Um, so we would just want to make sure that that communication is still present, active, and alive while you're in the sleeping state or in the dream state, to remember to continue to feed the body what's necessary for the body to be sustained. Still need to draw in that breath of life, that ruach, breath, wind, spirit. Okay. All righty. Okay. If you have some more stuff on that, see how you sleep tonight, Debbie, and reach out to me tomorrow. You still have my number, I think. Reach out to me tomorrow and just let me know how things are going. Okay. All right. Anybody else have anything real quick before we sign off for today? I ask like you're cool. I ask like you can hear it right when I say it. I have to remember. I have to remind myself sometimes that it's a delay. Like I put the question out there, and I'm expecting that you'll be responding soon, other than not even hearing it for another 20 seconds after I say it, and then having to take the time and put it in the comments. Okay. So I don't see anything in the comments right now. So we'll get ready to close for today. What I do want to remind us of is that we are all one people. We're all intimately and intricately interconnected. We might have different bodies. They might look differently. They might be shaped differently. They might make different sounds. But we're all one people. We're intimately and intricately interconnected. Okay. And that's why this healing can happen through the internet. Okay. Because we're all divinely interconnected in the cosmic web of God, if you will. Okay, I want us to remember that there is nothing that's beyond God's healing ability, no matter how the medical industry might respond. It just means they don't know how to deal with it. Okay, but the miracles of healing are a real thing. I can attest to it from seeing it happen again and again and again. I want us all to remember God loves us. God loves us, wants the best for us. There's nothing good that God really wants to withhold from us. And it's probably healthy for us to remind ourselves of that, particularly when we have times that we're going through things, or we have times that we're questioning things, our own worthiness even. It's probably good for us to remind ourselves of that. Another thing is, if anybody is interested in training, I'm happy to share this. I'm only going to be on the earth for a limited amount of time. I'm only interacting with a limited number of people, however many people that is. I want to share this. There are people who've tapped into the healing power before and they just kind of keep it to themselves, but it's not about that. It's really about making it available to people so people can be empowered in their lives, so people can empower other people. And ultimately, none of us have to be in a situation where we're just suffering so much. Doesn't mean that we don't all have things that will come up in our lives that will give us an opportunity to see where our growth opportunities are. We all have growth opportunities. We all have some things that have existed maybe under our radar, have been in our blind spots that we haven't seen, or that we haven't really been in touch with or been attuned to. And different life experiences draw the ideas that they draw to our attention, areas where we've missed some things, areas where we can grow. Okay. And so I hope that we'll all do that. To me, this is a really powerful way of doing that, because it really deals with a lot of root cause stuff. A lot of times we deal with stuff on the level of the symptom. Yeah, we can deal with stuff on the level of the symptom and kind of lighten things a little bit But it's much better. I mean, if you got some trash in the garbage, you know, you can spray some Febreze and it might eliminate the smell for a little while. But isn't it much better to just take out the trash altogether? Yeah. So we want to take out the trash. We want to create a whole new environment, an internal environment that ends up manifesting in external reality and external life experiences. Okay. All right. So that's just about all for today. By the way, if you are interested in training, just reach out to me, either Royce Fletcher Thomason on Facebook or on Instagram at Transcending the Matrix. You know, we've got a page there as well. Hey, Dr. Kafira, good to see you, sister. You know, so just reach out to me, let me know. I'm happy to support you in training and learning. And, you know, it is appropriate for there to be an energy exchange, but ultimately it really isn't about that. I'm not turning anybody down based on whatever their financial situation is. We make it happen. It's all about really getting the information out and empowering people, because that's the thing that really lasts. Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and close it out for today. But as I do so, I want to say God bless you. God loves you. I love you. You're worthy of love. I pray that on today you may find your pot of gold at the end of your rainbow in whatever way that needs to manifest itself. And I'm saying this largely in a figurative context. Whatever life journey brings your way, the reality is there aren't rainbows without some rain to happen. So there's times that, you know, that we get showered with some wonderful things, and there are times that we get showered with some things that we wouldn't necessarily have preferred. Hey, Jennifer Bliss, good to see you. You always come at the end. Yeah, well, better late than never, I suppose. Oh well. Glad to be able to see you even in these closing moments. So just as an FYI, we go on at 1 o'clock Eastern time. So if you get an opportunity to pull away for it. Thank you, and bright, beautiful blessings to you as well. So anyway, the rainbows, I was saying the rainbows require rain. There are no rainbows without rain, right? The beauty of it is, you know how a rainbow is created? The rainbow is created by light entering into the presence of the rain, or the moisture that's in the air after the rain. And the spectrum of light is created that includes the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And then we see that bow of color. We see that beautiful bow of color, but it's the result of the rain having been impacted by the light, or the result of the rain. Boy, listen, you tempted me to start preaching now. I'll be doing that Sunday at TLC on the theme, the ascension of the divine feminine. But for right now, I'm going to try to hold my mule, because I have a class to teach in a few minutes. But once the rain has come and then the light shines, bringing in that divine light, that insight, that information, that divine wisdom from on high into that situation to impact the result of the rain that's come, whatever has rained on life, whatever challenges have come your way. Bringing that actually brings rainbow. And when we allow ourselves to get to the other end of that, when we allow ourselves to see beyond circumstances, to see the presence of the light interacting with us in the midst of our challenge, in the midst of our situation, then we find our pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. That's where our good fortune comes in. Good fortune doesn't come because we need it. Good fortune comes because we have the sense to embrace it, right? Good fortune comes because we choose to acknowledge that we're worthy of it because of the love of God showered upon us. That's the real thing that we're ultimately being showered with, which has me thinking about the 139th Psalm. In the mind and in the awareness of God, there is no difference between the dark and the light, because at the end of the day, anything can be a tool through which we gain insight, a greater understanding of ourselves, that we grow and we mature. And the reality is, when we're placed in this earth as spiritual beings having this experience in the physical world, we were already given everything that we needed to be able to thrive here. We forget that along the way. We go through trials, we go through challenges, we doubt ourselves, we question our own worthiness, we question whether God exists, or if God does, if there's benevolence there or malevolence. And we get distracted along the way of life's journey. But if we can hold fast to the memory of this, if we can lean to those spiritual teachings that remind us of the essence of who we really are, the essence of what life really is. This is an opportunity for us to be initiated into greater wisdom, insight, understanding, and spiritual maturity. And if we're willing to do that, the world is our oyster, and nobody can keep us from our pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. God bless you. I love you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care now.